Hey friends, today for our genre study, we are going to be talking about historical fiction. We've actually haven't been in this genre yet, so this will be the first book that we will read that will be a historical fiction book. So let's start reading about historical fiction. I have your assignment pulled up here, and I'm going to go ahead and read it to you and help you through what historical fiction is. Historical fiction, I'm starting to read right here. Historical fiction is a made up story that could have happened in the past. It usually includes setting or the real place and time in which the story occurs. Setting may influence the plot, characters, or the people the story is about. Fictional characters may interact with real people from history. Plot, or the series of things that happen, made up events may occur at real places, and there usually is a theme or message. So, in historical fiction books, it's a story that's not actually real, but it's realistic. That means it maybe could have happened. And with historical fiction, it's a fiction story that has characters that are maybe living in a time in real history that we know of. Maybe like somebody who meets George Washington or something like that that could happen in real life, and they interact with real people in history, maybe, but it's not actually a true story. And oftentimes, historical fiction can help us learn about history. So let's take a look at this turn and talk question right here. Right here. It says, think about historical fiction you have read. Discuss it with a partner. Then use the historical fiction anchor chart to help you determine if a text is historical fiction. Take notes on your discussion. So you don't have to write anything there. You can use that space to type your thoughts about historical fiction. And if you have read any historical fiction, I'd love to see if you have or have not, or maybe you're not quite sure yet, and that's okay. But um, it's I've read a couple of historical fiction books, and sometimes, I always say that realistic fiction is my favorite genre, and I think that historical fiction might be one of my favorites, which historical fiction is kind of inside of realistic fiction. So let's take a look at this anchor chart really quick. It says historical fiction anchor chart. Historical fiction is one type of realistic fiction. Think of historical fiction as one piece of the realistic fiction pie. So here's our realistic fiction pie, and historical fiction is part of realistic fiction. Historical fiction has characters that behave like real people. The plot may include both real and fictional events. The resolution of the story is realistic for the time period. So, the story that we're going to read this week is one that takes place on the Titanic. And it's one of my favorite ones that we get to read in third grade. And it's really, really cool because it's an event that happened in real life, but the characters aren't real, but they could have been real. So, that's all you need to do for this. Make sure you just type in a couple of notes here where it says notebook, and you will be good to go. I can't wait to read historical fiction with you.